Hi everyone, it's Marisa from bumblebeeapothecary.com, and today I'd like to show you how to make homemade coconut milk and coconut flour. Coconut milk and coconut flour, when they're homemade, can be some really great alternative ingredients in different recipes. It could be on the GAPS diet or different ways of eating. So I'm going to show you how to make them at home. It can be hard to avoid additives if you're trying to buy store-bought coconut milk. So making it yourself is a really great way to be able to just get nice pure coconut milk without added thickeners and things that you don't want. And commercial coconut flour is very high in fiber. It's very irritating to a gut that's trying to heal, and it's not allowed on the GAPS diet. But homemade coconut flour is different. It's silkier in texture and it's completely different, and it is allowed on the GAPS diet. So let's jump in. I'm going to show you how to make coconut milk and coconut flour at home. So when you make coconut milk, you actually make coconut flour at the same time. So I'm just going to show you that whole process, and in the end we'll have both products. So first, coconut milk. I'm going to start by adding 2.5 cups of water to my blender. Now ideally you're using a glass blender, and you can use hot water to extract more of the fat out of the coconut. I have a plastic blender, so it's not ideal to use super hot water in there. I'm just using kind of warm water as kind of a middle ground, but you could use cold water too. In fact, that's what I usually do, is just use cooler water in the plastic blender. There's that whole dilemma about heat and plastic and everything, and in general we try to avoid that. But anyway, 2.5 cups of water into the blender. And then to that I'm going to add 1.5 cups of shredded coconut. You want to make sure that the shredded coconut that you use is unsweetened. You want to make sure that the ingredients say just coconut. So I'm going to add 1 and then 1/2 cup. 1.5 cups total of the shredded coconut. It could be coconut flakes. And then I'm going to blend this for a while just to get it really like smooth and kind of ground up.
I want to see.
So once everything is blended, we're going to strain the milk out of the solids. So I'm just going to pour this into a nut milk bag that I have. You could also use like a metal strainer or a colander or something lined with cheesecloth. But a nut milk bag is the easiest, because then you can really squeeze it and extract all the liquid out. And then you just gather up the bag, and you're just going to start to gently squeeze all the milk out. Squeezing until you don't feel like you're really getting any more liquid out. And then you have your coconut milk, and you can use that as a milk alternative in certain recipes, and then also just as coconut milk in like Thai inspired recipes. So that's how easy it is to make your own homemade coconut milk. Next, let's go on to the coconut flour. For the coconut flour, you're just going to spread some parchment paper out onto a baking pan, and then you're just going to take the coconut solids left from making your coconut milk and spread them out on the parchment paper. Get it all out of there. Then just kind of spread it out as evenly as you can. If you have a food dehydrator, you can also dehydrate this coconut flour in a food dehydrator as well. But I'm just going to spread that out there as evenly in a thin layer as I can, and then I have my oven set to the lowest temperature that it will go, and I'm going to go dry this in the oven for about 1 hour.
Mama.
Once the coconut solids are done drying, it's time to grind them up a little bit so that they're a bit more of a finer flour texture. So I'm just going to add all of these to my blender. And then I'm just going to turn on the blender and let it blend for a little bit. You want to keep an eye on it when you're blending. If you blend too much, it can start to turn into like a thicker coconut butter, and you don't want that. So check on it every now and then. That looks good, so you can see it's a lot finer texture now. And after that, it's ready for you to use. So that's how easy it is to make homemade coconut milk and coconut flour. They're better options than store-bought and super easy to do. I'll have links in the description box to where I like to buy ingredients. I also have some free ebooks and other goodies. There's a GAPS Diet Getting Started guide that you can grab down there. I hope that you liked this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody else who you think would find it helpful. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out 2 new videos every week on nourishing recipes and natural living. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.